For TV.
Welcome back to Doctor Who Too Hot for TV, and of course, it's another festive bonus special. Now, I'm here with Michael Mills. I last met him many months ago in a pub. And where are we now, Michael Mills?
It's December 2024, Dylan.
Is it?
Yes.
Are you sure it's not August still?
No. I'm fairly certain it's December 2024.
And we've met here every Tuesday since.
And we will meet here every Christmas for years to come.
Until, like Barry Letts and Terrance Dicks, one of us dies and the other one comes here alone and just sits there nursing an old fish and chips.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you know, the thought of death and dead relatives are never far from our minds at Christmas time. So, it's the festive period. There's various Doctor Who Too Hot for TV specials. But what did we cover this time last year on the podcast?
A full year ago, Dylan, we talked about Doctor Who, The Curse of the Daleks, a Christmas special live on stage for the kiddies.
And we enjoyed it, right? It was the best thing ever.
Yes.
Has there ever been any other festive Doctor Who related things, perhaps featuring the Daleks, that happened on the stage?
Do you know what, Dylan? You'll be delighted to hear. Yes. Actually, it turns out there was. In December 1974, if you were a little child whose parents weren't afraid of the IRA, you could have gone to the Adelphi Theatre to see Doctor Who and the Daleks in 7 Keys to Doomsday.
Not to be confused with the film that I've just made called 7 Keys. There is very little Doomsday in it, but there are 7 keys.
Do you know what this is? We did Curse of the Daleks last year, 7 Keys to Doomsday this year. It's a proper Christmas sequel. It's like your Christmas or mine too.
The ultimate Christmas sequel. Now, I noticed you said the words Doctor Who there. Is that because Doctor Who is in Doctor Who and the 7 Keys to Doomsday, not just the Daleks?
Yes, Doctor Who. And imagine this, Dylan. Not only Doctor Who, but also the Daleks. Yes.
Oh my God. And which Doctor Who is it? Is it perhaps Tom Baker or Jean Pertwee?
It is neither. Because as any good fan would have picked up from the date just there, this appeared in the Interregnum.
Love that word.
Interregnum. John Pertwee had been spidered on Metebelis 3, but Tom Baker yet to take up the mantle. So instead, we have Doctor Who 3.5, Trevor Martin.
Holy shit.
Oh!
The definitive actor to play the role, some might say.
Yes.
Before we talk about Trevor Martin, do you know anything about Michael Sager?
I do. Was Michael Sager... I may have read the same web pages as you, Dylan. Did Michael Sager play Doctor Who in the 1984 New Zealand production of 7 Keys to Doomsday?
Holy shit. The internet is a useful tool. But unfortunately, Big Finish decided not to do the Michael Sager version.
Alas.
And instead opted to do the more traditional Trevor Martin version.
Typical Big Finish.
Exactly. Which was recorded as an audio drama on the 15th and 16th of July 2008 at the Moat Studios. It was then released in October 2008. It was directed by John Ainsworth, produced by David Richardson, and of course written by Terrance Dicks.
Hey!
What a time to be alive.
Too hot for TV.
Jimmy and Jenny go to the theatre, where they take their seats at the front of the stage. The TARDIS materialises on the stage, and the Doctor comes out and collapses to the floor. Jenny gets up to help the Doctor, and Jimmy reluctantly follows. They help him back into the TARDIS, where he regenerates. He then takes them immediately to the planet Kharn, where they prevent the Daleks and their crab-like slaves, the Clawrantulas, finding the 7 crystals of Kharn, which would enable them to control all life in the universe.
Too hot for TV.
Let's just go straight in to 7 Keys to Doomsday. What the fuck is this?
It's one of the best titles that Doctor Who has ever had. For a start, 7 Keys to Doomsday. You can keep your Earth Shock. You can keep your. You were asking recently. Sorry, not recently. Way back in the summer.
Exactly.
You were asking
when we were on our deck chairs drinking pina coladas. Now we're inside drinking a pint of Miles.
Yeah, hiding away our Christmas shopping bags about our feet.
It's Christmas Eve, actually. We've just done all our Christmas shopping.
We did this for you, listeners. We wanted to make this as much as we could. There are, I tell you what, there are romantic comedies reaching their apex outside the windows as we watch people. It is snowing.
Hugh Grant's just gone past. He's the Prime Minister, in case our foreign listeners are listening.
Colin Firth has got a scarf on. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Slade is playing in the background, but I think the AI has removed that.
And the Christmas Invasion is on repeat on the pub television.
And there is joy and festive spirit all about.
So pray tell.
But way back, so it is a stage play.
Yes.
About Doctor Who, live on stage with the Daleks, in which Trevor Martin, as Doctor Who, sets out to reunite the 7 Keys to Doomsday. On the planet Kharn.
Yes, that's true. Not to be confused with the planet Kharn from Reign of Morbius.
Oh, but maybe they're the same planet Kharn.
They're not, though, are they? Or does extended media do that at some point?
Terrance Dicks said in the extras in the Big Finish version, the extras are, I would say, comfortably almost as long as the actual play.
If not better than the actual play.
He said he believed they were the same planet at different points in history.
Well, if Terry says it, it must be true.
Voice of God answer. Set out to reunite the 7 Keys of Doomsday, the 7 Keys which will control the Crystal of All Power, which...
Well done.
Thank you. Which can be used for either good or ill.
So, this is the Key to Time, done many years before the Key to Time.
It's also so naked a reference to nuclear atomic energy that they actually have someone go, this is quite like atomic energy, isn't it? You know, children, which one I presume they all stopped, stood in a line and turned to the children and went, atomic power can be used to light to boil the kettles in your home.
Or for bombs, like you can hear going off outside right now.
Or to nuke the Russians.
So, this was at the Wyndham Theatre, I believe?
No.
Was
that was where the Curse of the Daleks was.
Where was this?
This was at the Adelphi Theatre.
What a fucking rank amateur I am.
Oh, it's astonishing. The Adelphi Theatre, where it's still... So, major West End theatre, yeah. one of the big ones on the Strand, where today, as we say this confidently on the 24th of December 2024, Back to the Future the musical is running.
Right, okay.
Imagine, listeners, for a moment, if they did an audio adaptation of Back to the Future the musical. That's where we are. That's what we're pitching this at.
So it begins in a theatre, which may sound like an obvious thing to say, but this story actually begins in a theatre.
No. It actually begins in a theatre.
What happens?
TARDIS lands on stage.
Yeah.
A couple of kids from the audience take it upon themselves. So TARDIS lands, Doctor, in the original version, Jean Pertwee. In the audio version, Klaxon, Nicholas Briggs Doctor Alert. Nicholas Briggs Doctor Alert.
Yeah, the budget only stretches so far, and Tim Trelaw wasn't born in 2008.
Staggers out, asks for help, but 2 plucky young kids called Jenny and Jimmy, because this is a Terrance Dicks script,
exactly,
rush up on stage to help him. Help him back to the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
Holy shit.
I know, right? He regenerates into only bloody Trevor Martin from the War Games.
Exactly. Now, I can only imagine how exciting that must have been to be an 8-year-old in the theatre and see that happen.
Yeah.
How does it translate to audio?
Well, I would say this is a comment on the proceedings as a whole, which is that if you look at the posters for 7 Keys to Doomsday, Doctor Who and the Daleks live on stage. The two things this audio adaptation is not is one, live, and number two, on stage.
No.
I would have pissed my pants with excitement if I'd been taken to see this live in 1974.
Absolutely.
Not least, why am I alive and here 14 years before I was born? On audio, it lacks some of the immediacy.
I think there's a thing. So I've now heard all these stage adaptations. Now, The Curse of the Daleks. Some young people have just walked past, and I think they've been smoking weed. Christmas weed. It's greener. Curse of the Daleks is such a weird anomaly of just like a shitty bit of Doctor Who, sort of outdated, crappy sci-fi. But just hearing it remade on audio is kind of thrilling in a way of just like, this is such a weird curious. And The Ultimate Adventure is such a bonkers, weird idea with musical numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is wild. It may not be very good, but it's wild.
Yeah.
This is very much the stage play.
Yeah.
And so I think you are really missing the key ingredients that probably make it successful.
Yes.
So, yeah, you're just not... I don't feel like I'm getting the true experience of this in a way, but with the other two, I was like, actually, the script is enough for me to get a feel of what this is like.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we said when we talked about the Curse of the Daleks that it's basic. It was from the early, mid 60s. It was basically a repertory thriller.
Yeah.
Right? So moving it over to audio doesn't damage it too much. It translates fairly neatly. It's just people stood around.
Yeah. It's Dalek Empire in the 60s.
Yeah, 100%. And the only thing you're really missing is being able to see the Daleks.
Yeah.
But, otherwise it was just playing out with people in rooms. This clearly makes or made an effort to be impressive on stage. And by all accounts, it was very impressive on stage. And you do get that in listening to it. So there's whole sequences where like you can hear that they're unveiling the big prop.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the supercomputer!
The Chlorantulas.
It's only the bloody Emperor Dalek, Dylan.
The Masters of Khan.
The Masters, no less.
The worst thing about the Emperor Dalek, though, is we're imagining the big Emperor Dalek. Apparently it was just a Dalek prop with big ears.
With and a golden dome,
Yeah.
But still,
Yeah. Yeah.
more impressive than monster. Doctor, but yeah, the problem is it doesn't translate. And so what you end up with is a lot of the script is. So this is an endeavour, and in the extras, Terrance Dicks says that the brief he was given was, quote, "This is an exercise in nostalgia," which is fair enough. And they didn't want to change it too much because, let's face it, they were appealing to fans who wanted to know, what was the Seven Keys to Doomsday actually all about?
Yeah.
What was that all about? And if you change it too much, it stops being Seven Keys to Doomsday.
Absolutely.
So it's sort of...
You have to be a bit not tongue-in. You have to take it seriously, but you have to be aware that you're not trying to update it as like a grand sweeping sci-fi epic.
It's the Doctor Who equivalent of a reenactment society, right? Which is but that does lead to certain problems in the script where you're basically having it explained to you that so there's a bit where like a Chlorantula,
What a great name.
It gets thrown into a force field, and this is how they get through. And all the effects are bzzzt, 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 and you have characters going, "Blimey, that was impressive."
And you can imagine that the Chlorantula would have flung into the force field on stage, and all sorts of lights would flash on and off.
100%.
And as a kid, you'd be shitting yourself. Going, oh my god! But it's just. It doesn't translate to audio in the same way.
There's another bit where the supercomputer has taken against Doctor Who and his companions, and so begins to lower a great slab upon them. And in the extras, Trevor Martin talks about this being his one clear memory of the whole production is this slab lowering, and at the same time there are lights coming up from the stage, so the force fields, they can't escape from it. But on stage, on audio, it's just, oh no! The slab's coming down, and the force field means we can't get out.
It's done with all the same tension of that cliffhanger of the rescue, where those really cardboardy-looking spikes come out of the walls, and Ian's like, "Oh, I'm definitely going to die," and you're like, "Ian, you're not dying."
It's a little bit Alan Partridge. Oh no, Doctor Who is going to die.
So, we think this would have been a decent play, right, for kids, ultimately.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I say, having read up on the same pages you read and listened to the same behind-the-scenes extras that you listened to, it was apparently huge. There are lots of big special effects, because that live on stage, part of the fun and the conceit of that is, how are they going to do that on stage?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a Stranger Things or Back to the Future theatre plays running right now, and it's the thrill is seeing that happen in front of you.
Yeah.
The Grand Master of Khan, played by Simon Jones, aka Arthur Dent from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Great crossover. That was a 12-foot costume. He was on stilts. He was coming in. There was apparently there was a plan that this would run for 2 months in the West End, and then they'd go on tour around the regions.
Yeah.
It only ran for 4 weeks in the end. Disputed as to why, but the most common reason seems to be because there was this IRA bombing campaign.
So people just didn't show up.
Yeah, understandably, parents didn't want to bring their kid. This was then, as now, these sort of big productions were reliant on people coming into London to see them, and understandably, parents weren't confident doing that. But in terms of why the tour then didn't happen, supposedly one of the reasons is that the sets were so big that they couldn't be transported, and also they wouldn't have fitted onto most regional stages at the time.
So there are some stills about.
Yeah.
And I must confess, I don't remember taking much note of the sets, but there's certainly some impressive, the Clarantulas, the Masters of Khan, the Daleks, all look pretty cool. But I can't remember the set sticking out, but they probably wouldn't in a weird way, because they just look, to me, like 40-year-old stage sets, but actually, when you get the grand nature of it, I can completely see that. What Trevor Martin says in his Mythmakers as well is they were hoping to do more. So he would tour basically every year. He'd do like 2 months at Christmas in London, then 4 months tour doing a Doctor Who, and there'd be a Doctor Who stage play every year.
I mean, that would have been glorious, wouldn't it? I mean, and it's worth saying, Trevor Martin, regardless of on stage, on audio, amazing casting as the Doctor. He's got a terrific voice.
He has. I watched his Mythmakers recently, and it was shot literally about a year before he died. He's not in the best of health. And he tells a lot of interesting stories. And like, what an engaging, just like, what a life. Like, he's a jobbing actor that no one really knows, but he's been in everything of the eras that he was active, and there's so many stories to tell.
Yeah.
But I was like, is he going to be any good? And I think they managed to capture him in this, where he's not quite playing the role as he would have played it in the 1970s, but he's that era of actor that you can completely imagine would have nailed it then and nails it in the same way, a bit like the David Warner Doctor does, where you're like, 100%, I believe this man is playing Doctor Who in the guise of the 70s, and I think he would have smashed the shit out of it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he feels... Because it's a big thing it's a role that's been much recast, but to just bring someone in and go, that's Doctor Who now. Yeah. And yet you believe it immediately with
and I wasn't expecting to.
No.
Like, if Big Finish did The Ultimate Adventure with David Banks, I doubt I'd walk away from that going anything, but that was David Banks trying to be Colin Baker or John Pertwee,
Yeah.
This is a man that, if you'd have told me, actually, there was a spin-off where he played the Doctor for 2 series in 1974 and he wipes it, I'll go, absolutely, that's the man.
Well, let me put this to you. We have here a Doctor who is being sent on multiple missions by the Time Lords.
Is this Joe Martin?
I think we have a timeless Doctor on our hands.
Yes!
I think we do.
Chibnall gets everywhere.
Trevor Martin is a pre-Hartnell Doctor.
Yes.
Put it on a t-shirt.
But he didn't even generate from John Pertwee.
Not in the audio version. So a stipulation of this contract is that Nicholas Briggs is also a pre-Hartnell
So it goes Joe Martin, Nick Briggs, Trevor Martin.
Yes.
The 2 Martins.
The 2 Martins, of course. Where we go.
If only he wasn't dead, we could have that box set.
It's beautiful. It just works. Oh, it works magnificently.
Dear God. Well, I hope that next time we get a flashback of all the Doctors, as well as Richard E. Grant, there's a Trevor Martin head floating in there. How do we feel about the use of the Daleks here?
I mean, this is So given the conceit of going to see this and the USP of going to see this would have been that it was Doctor Who on stage, perhaps inevitably the story itself and the use of the Daleks is very generic Doctor Who as it would have been envisaged in 1974.
Yeah.
So the Daleks are very generic. In fact, there's a lot of this which is apparently one of the. There've been a few years running up to this where they've been trying to get a Doctor Who stage play off the ground.
Right.
One of the suggestions had been doing a stage adaptation of the film Doctor Who and the Daleks.
I can see that, yeah.
And yeah, knowing that, a lot
Because it's about 3 sets if you think about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of that in here. We're on an alien planet, we go to some caves.
Yeah.
There's an alien city, there's a few yeah, absolutely.
Forest outside the city, in the city.
Yeah.
It's the same with both of them. And there's a lot that carries over from that as well. We have the alien jungle. We have the ruined city. We have the mutated monsters. We have the Daleks. And in the denouement, we have the Daleks planning to set off a weapon that's going to destroy everything.
I have heard this story before.
Yeah. Many times.
I feel like it's been there in the history of the show.
Yeah.
They are the Daleks at their most generic, and there's a part of me that goes, well, you can tell this came after Planet of the Daleks, which I love.
Yeah.
But again, that's almost a retelling of the Daleks. I know it's a cliche, but it's allowed to be a cliche if it's true.
Yeah.
It's a little retelling of the Daleks. This is a retelling of the Daleks. You know, perhaps if you'd done this play in 1967, it might have been more akin to the slightly more scheming power and evil versions if David Whittaker wrote it. But no, this is the Daleks absolutely hitting their stereotypes and their archetypal version of what they are, which is we want to exterminate everything and we're going to blow up everything as well.
And if there had been songs in this play, that would have been one of the songs.
I'm not overly excited about Doctor Who becoming more musical, but weirdly the stage versions, I think they should all have musical numbers.
It does feel like there's a few minutes where Trevor Martin should turn to the audience and go, and I can sing! He's the Doctor! He's the Doctor!
How do we feel about our companions here?
Jenny and Jimmy.
Jenny and Jimmy. Now, obviously, there's a bit of Jenny in the play was played by
Blood on Satan's Claws, Wendy Padbury.
Exactly, who'd never been in Doctor Who before.
Never been in Doctor Who
and
before.
Here is played by Charlie Hayes, who happens to be the daughter of Wendy Padbury.
And Melvin Hayes.
Did Wendy Padbury and Melvin Hayes have a baby?
Yeah, and that baby was Charlie Hayes.
These are two of the most generic companions. For me, they are Ben and Polly in Power of the Daleks / the Smugglers, but with all the likeable bits shaved off, basically.
Oh, they are Companion A and Companion B.
Yeah.
Girl 1 and Boy 1.
Yeah, but because it's the 70s, the girl really wants to be a part of the adventure.
Yeah.
Because women's lib, and this is Terrance Dicks doing women's lib, and the man's going, no. We need to go home and eat some sausages.
There's also a bit where she says to the Doctor, quite reasonably, wouldn't it be safer if we all stuck together? And he says, no, young lady, it would not. With no explanation why. I mean, she's quite right.
Yeah, no, it's true. She is the most sensible character in the play. We get a lot of rebels as well, a lot of slaves, things like that. They're important to a Dalek story.
Yeah.
Could you tell any of them apart?
No. To the extent that I was a bit disappointed they didn't restate their names when they came back into the scenes, because I couldn't keep track of them.
Yeah, a lot of people died, and I'm not sure who it was. My favourite moment is at the end where they go, the Doctor and the companions bugger off in the TARDIS, and the one slave guy that's left, whatever his name is, goes, don't worry, I'll stay here, I've got a bomb. I think the assumption is that he's going to sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
Even though the war's over, it's like there's one Dalek left. It's like, could you not just blow up the Dalek, or just, I don't know, maybe go in the TARDIS?
Well, and you know what? In one of those children was Chris Chibnall.
It's an interesting story. This, in many ways, this is what we criticise Big Finish for a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I love it when they preserve little bits of Doctor Who history like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I would describe this as a successful production of something they couldn't possibly hope to capture, but like they just managed to preserve it enough in sort of it's more true to its source material than say an Ian Levine AI reconstruction. Let's put it like that. So when Big Finish give us something like this, when they give us a lost story that is shit. Like absolute shit.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I got to hear it being shit.
I understand why they didn't make that one.
But I'm so glad it exists as a much cheaper audio feature. So I'm really glad that they brought this to life. But I don't know whether there's a huge amount of analysis we can do of it.
No, I'm glad they did it, because I remember when Doctor Who magazine was getting towards the end of the archives, and they started doing weird shit, like archives on the Curse of Fatal Death and the radio plays, and they did one on the stage plays, and reading it and being like, oh, what was 7 Keys to Doomsday all about then? And you just didn't know.
Yeah.
Now you can know.
Yeah, but also it's because those archives concentrate too much on dates and production designs. These rely more on, to say the scripts, an obvious thing, but also just hearing Trevor Martin talk about what it was like to do it.
Yeah.
And the extras, even if you think it's the worst bit of Doctor Who, the extras just hearing Terrance Dicks and Trevor Martin chat about it, and these newer actors going, how do we bring this to life in a way that's sort of true to it? It's a real moment in time just captured for us to all appreciate forever. And I feel like we're lucky as Doctor Who fans that someone could be fucked.
Oh, 100%. And not only the stage play, but even, because it is now the better part of 20 years ago. Dylan crumbles to dust before me that this was recorded. But back in the noughties when, frankly, a lot of these people were still around.
Yeah.
Terrance Dicks was still around, Trevor Martin was still around, and we got them back and they did stuff. And
you hear Terrance and you hear Trevor talk on it, and they are people, I would say in their 70s, who are very much full of life.
Yeah.
And they know exactly what they're talking about. They're not some bumbling old person or whatever. And you're like, so good to capture this before they passed away. Can we talk a little bit about the cover? Because on the cover, Trevor Martin looks a lot like a supply teacher who's had enough. If you said to me that Trevor Martin on that front cover was only 38, but somehow looks 70, I would believe you.
Well, what they should have done is they should have somehow found a way to clear the rights to use one of the many original publicity photos.
Of which there are many.
This is not the Curse of the Daleks where there's like 2 shots.
Yeah.
There were a lot of publicity photos. With his lovely hair, with his fantastic costume. For some reason, they decided to Photoshop his face, tired on a weekend, in the back garden of Moat Studios.
Yeah, looking like he's just drank 10 pints at 10 a.m.
I mean, where was his agent?
I know. And then they surround him by CGI shit Daleks.
Yeah.
In a world where, do you know what Big Finish have got loads of photos of? Fucking Daleks, because they're on every other cover and they look great. Why, on this cover, do they look shit?
Specifically, and then a shot of Charlie Hayes and your man who played Jimmy just stood next to each other in their clothes.
Yeah. Jimmy was played by Joe Thompson.
Joe Thompson, apologies. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Just stood there. In that way that Big Finish did at the time, where they just thought, it's fine. Actually, many months ago, we talked about Fanfare for the Common Men. The one weakness of which is the front cover, where it's just got the guys who played it walking across a zebra crossing.
Yeah, but to be fair, they look more like the Beatles, to be honest, than the Beatles and the Devil's Court.
This is true. And here, it's just a publicity shot of Joe Thompson.
Yeah.
And Charlie Hayes just stood there.
I think that is something that Big Finish have got better at.
100%.
And even though sometimes there's a weird uncanny valley thing about, that's Peter Capaldi's body that Tom Baker is weirdly on.
Yeah.
Because Tom Baker never did that pose. But sometimes they go, do you know what? Is this a suitable outfit for this person to be wearing? Or is perhaps a next T-shirt not what this character would have worn? Because all it would have taken was for them to dress up in some 70s clothes that they bought from a vintage shop to make it look a little bit...
There were a lot of Doctor Who fans involved in the making of the show. Some of them will have had outdated clothing.
Exactly. True. It's... Yeah.
I mean, I will say, it is not close to being the worst cover that Big Finish have ever done.
What's the worst cover they've ever done?
Probably Palindrome Part 2 from 8th Doctor Time War, in which Terry Malloy's face is photoshopped onto Davros' body.
It looks like it's done on a face swap app, doesn't it?
And it's really unsettling.
I have to say Palindrome is a great audio.
So I understand.
Phenomenal. One of the best of more recent years. But fuck me, does that cover let it down?
I haven't listened to it, and that cover makes me not want to listen to it, so I don't want that staring at my iPhone.
Right, you're coming back in a few months' time.
Okay.
And we're going to do Palindrome.
Okay.
Because I think it's well worth a listen.
Can I cover my eyes when it's on the screen?
You don't have to. The beauty of audio is, I don't know whether you know this, you can see it now in your mind's eye.
Photoshop Terry Malloy can't hurt you.
It is dreadful. It is a dreadful image. Do we have much more we want to say about the Curse of the Daleks? No, it's not the Curse of the Daleks. I keep saying it.
7 keys. Look,
7 keys to Doomsday.
We've all had a bit of Christmas cheer at this stage.
We've had a lot of eggnog.
A lot of eggnog. The Baileys are being passed around. I would like to quote, they say it will allow them to conquer every planet in the galaxy and every galaxy in the universe. So just, Terrance Dicks, unusually for a 1960s, 1970s Doctor Who writer, getting that terminology right. Oh, it's going to let us conquer every moon in the solar system.
Just the one. Martin grew his hair long to play the Doctor, giving him a quoted effeminate appearance, on which he blamed multiple incidents in which he was harassed by gangs of youths on the tube.
It's quite a dark context, isn't it, that this player's operating within?
But also, I don't believe he was the first man in the 70s to have long hair. I've seen the Green Death. I know what Stuart Bevan was rocking. Jean Pertwee himself was... It may not have been long, but it was certainly a bouffant.
Can I give you some numbers?
Mm-hmm.
The original stage production cost £35,000.
Wowzers.
Which, in today's money,
Go on.
24th of December 2024 money, is approximately £321,000.
Fucking hell.
The average West End musical today costs approximately £3.5 million.
Okay, so those big sets may not have been as big as we think they were.
They may have been a little bit smaller. I mean, I suspect it might be that the West End has got somewhat more grandiose than it was in the 1970s.
That's true. I hear it's highly regarded.
Oh, I hear it's quite the coming thing to go and see a DeLorean skidding about on stage. But doesn't that make you feel just a little bit more fondly about it all? Doesn't that feel in the great tradition of Doctor Who that it was just a bit simpler?
Because in my mind, it's basically one up from a school nativity play.
Well, and there have been, as we touched on at the start, there have been a couple of additional productions of this since. So this was not the end of 7 Keys to Doomsday.
No, there were 8 Keys to Doomsday.
There were 9.
No, what?
So there was a production in New Zealand in 1984.
Michael Sager.
There's a fantastic interview, a contemporary interview with the director online.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which you can read, which he basically says he thinks they got the right because they were too far away that no one cared. But apparently there was also a production in Surrey, Sussex in 1981. Again,
Really?
Amdram. Yeah.
Do you reckon we could get the rights to put this on at, I don't know, the Surrey Keys Theatre or something?
Next Christmas, I'll be Jenny.
Joe Martin.
Oh yeah, Joe Martin be the Doctor, and you're Jimmy. I'm Jenny.
No, I think at this point we could get Wendy Padbury's granddaughter to do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you got a pair of stilts to be the Grandmaster of Khan?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Do you know what? Okay, you've heard it here first, people.
Yeah.
Doctor Who Too Hot for TV will not be too hot for the Amdram stage. in Christmas 25.
Yeah, please donate to our Kickstarter. We need £325,000. So we must rate it. Is it a clanger, a banger, or an average meander?
For the love of Christmas, it's a banger. A Christmas cracker.
A Christmas miracle. It's two big bangers from us. Phew, what an adventure. I mean, there's some more Doctor Who Too Hot for TV Christmas specials coming over the next few weeks. And who knows what me and Michael Mills will find to cover next year. Now we've done the stage plays, but I'm sure it'll be festive as hell. I hear there's an Eremem festive anthology book.
Oh, God.
With sexy Eremem on the front. Maybe we'll be back for that, because you love reading a bad Doctor Who book.
It's what I do with my days.
But until next time, and until maybe next year, I've been Dylan.
Merry Christmas, Yoko.
And this has been Doctor Who Too Hot for TV, a festive special.
Too hot for TV.
It's the festive era. The festive era? It's the festive period. Oh my god, I've had several puns. Let's try it start again.
Too hot for TV.
Holy shit. Yeah. She's not the one that runs. Is she part of the Brigadier range? Is she
Melvin Hayes from 8.5 Hot Mum.
Ah!
Melvin Hayes.
Oh, fuck. I'm cutting this bit, but it'll go at the end. Right, okay.
Hello, anyone who's listened to the end of the credits.
Right, yes. Because
Too hot for TV.